Hi, Fran. How are you?
Hi, Fran.
Hey guys.
Usually
Uh,
I'm excited, Fran.
Hi,
How you doing?
Fran.
Hi, Fran.
I'm like Eeyore, the sad and angry elephant over here. Hi, Fran. All right. I want to get your general thoughts. I want to hear a lot, but I want to start with the most important play of the game, which is one of the ones you sent over here, and that is this game is tied at 21-21. The Eagles' offense, despite not scoring points on the previous two possessions, is moving the ball. They have had penalties hamstring them, but they are moving the ball. They have 3rd and 2 on their own 39-yard line after the 2-minute warning. So they've had all 5 minutes or whatever it is to think about what the situation is, which is that we should probably have 2 chances to pick up this first down, and all we really need is 20 yards, and we will probably have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal here. And then Jalen Hurts takes a sack, and they have to punt the ball away, and they lose the game. What did you see on the play, and should we consider jumping out the window?
It was this was a good example of the frustrations I have with broadcasts at times, where you've got a quarterback in the booth who could show us what the quarterback is seeing, and yet they don't show us what the quarterback is seeing. So all I've got to show, they showed the offensive line after,
Yeah.
but this was not an offensive line sack. It was a stunt that got home. Oso Odigizua gets home and he sacks Jalen Hurts. Hurts had plenty of time for what the concept seemed to be. Now, again, I'm going off like the main broadcast angle. I'm very anxious to see what this play looks like in the morning. But guys, let's take a look at the first shot here. It's Jalen sack 1. We'll take a look at what I think he's seeing here off to his left side, because he's going to drop back on 3rd down. And to me, he's got 3 receivers to his left. He's got Devontae Smith to his right. And to me, it looks like he wants the vertical route from the number 2 receiver is releasing downfield. It looks like it's going to be some kind of a corner route working over to that side, to the wide side of the field. So when Jalen drops back, you can see his eyes are looking that way. Now, he's got A.J. Brown over to that side. He's got Dallas Goedert working a little hitch route over the ball. But it looks to me like he wants, I believe that's Darius Cooper, lined up at number 2, and he looks like that's what he's looking at, working down the field. Now,
You
again,
think? Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I mean, there is nobody in the world who wants Darius Cooper to get the ball more than me. But you're telling me that the primary read here on 3rd and 2 with the game on the line is Darius Cooper going downfield?
Again, I'm going off of this, so that I don't take this as gospel. I'm just going off of what I without seeing what that route is.
Okay.
I can't say oh yeah, this is the concept, right? And so I'm just trying to go off of where Jalen's eyes appear to be looking. He's looking over to his left. Now,
Okay.
if we go to the next shot, you'll see all right, he's going to drop back. He's got his eyes over that way. And to me, again, I'm looking at Jalen's eyes, and he's looking at that direction. Now, we know, look, the passing game is all about timing, all right? And so you can see, all right, A.J. Brown at the top, the very top of the screen, he's getting locked up. He's facing some press coverage. Dallas Goedert working in the middle of the field. He's facing some press coverage. They're trying to reroute him. Cooper from the slot, he's got free access, so he's working up to the second level. And to me, again, looking at Jalen's eyes here from this angle, it seems like that's where he's looking. But if we go to the next shot, he gets off of that. He drops his eyes to peek the rush, and he starts to retreat backwards in the pocket. But if you're keeping your eyes there, again, my guesstimation based off what we're seeing here just from this broadcast angle, this ball should be out to Dallas Goedert
Right
on
here.
this little ball route over the middle of the field, past the sticks. And he took a peek over to Devontae Smith. He dropped his eyes. He started to bide time and started to creep back in the pocket. And because the game it wasn't in rhythm, now Goddard's not open anymore, and then then you get Osa, who's able to get home for the sack. You go to the last shot, and you can see that he's able to get home. He squeezes through. They were running a stunt over on the offensive left side, and Osa is able to sneak through. It's one of the things that he does best. He's really good running stunts and twists. So again, I'm anxious to see what that concept was. When I turn the film on tomorrow morning, this was the only replay that I've got of the play, but. That was critical, and to me, that's one where the structure of the offense, where it is so based on timing. Daniz came on Friday and talked about all the hitches. hitch routes are timing routes. And we've talked about this in the past with the structure of the offense and all the 2x2. That is like timing, rhythm, pacing. Like it's got to be like 1, 2, 3, like, okay, ball out. And if the ball's not out, the concept on the other side is already blown as well. So now that's when you get into scramble drill. And when you get into scramble drill, sometimes things go well and sometimes things don't. And on that play, things did not go well, obviously. And it was a play that ultimately ended up costing the Eagles this football game.
And by the way, the very first sack of the game that Jalen Hurts took in a game in which the pass protection was very good throughout. What did you see, if we stick on the offense, with why the running game was so putrid?
Yeah, that's another one where it's like, all right, it just seemed like there was different blocks at fault on each and every one of those runs, and so I'll chart it once we go through the film tomorrow. There was not one resounding theme that showed up for me. It seemed like it was a little bit of everything. Sometimes I was like, all right, it looks like Juergens may have lost to Quinnen Williams on this play. It looks like Fred Johnson whiffed on this one. It looks like a tight end missed here. Saquon got a little bit too fast up into the hole on this one. I do like the fact that we saw drives, especially in the first half of this game, and they did in the second half as well, where the quarterback run element was a big part of him. And that touchdown drive that ends with the quarterback draw for Jalen Hurts, there were 3 individual plays on there where you had 3 different concepts that utilized the threat of Jalen's legs. And we have not seen that has been a non-factor with this offense all season long. But there was one where they ran QB counter read. And then there was one where they ran the 3rd and 3 where Saquon Barkley runs for 7 to the left sideline. That's a read play. And then you've got the QB draw out of empty that Jalen Hurts audibled into. And so, if we're looking at like what are some bright spots, like that's something where, okay, they're trying to breathe some life into the run game by trying to utilize Jalen's legs and trying to lean into that. I wonder if that's something we'll see more of down the stretch, but obviously that was not enough to keep that run game afloat here in this.
Can I call out an absolute loser real quick? Danny Merlino.
No, don't give him the.
No. If you're a Cowboys fan that's celebrating an Eagles loss more than your own team's victory, get the hell out of here.
Well,
but hit that like button before you get out of here.
To celebrate on their own.
I mean, come on. Watching the other team's loss instead of enjoying the own. We have a station in Dallas. Go enjoy the win.
He's never experienced a Super Bowl victory. Give the guy a break.
The thing is, Jamie,
come on. They're the Cowboys.
The thing is, if you like shine a light on a cockroach,
I know,
the cockroach goes.
But come on,
he's not going to scurry. He's like, this.
Go enjoy your victory elsewhere, you loser. That's all.
Okay. You know what? Let's stick on the offense while we're here, though, because did you feel like the passing game was cooking to some degree today?
Yeah, it was a great start. So there were some good things. I spent halftime working on the opening drive touchdown for AJ Brown. Like I don't even know if that's even worth.
You can break it down for us if you want to.
It was fun. Those were the good times.
Come on, Frank, get the people what they want to see.
Yeah, like there was rhythm, there was pacing. It seemed like there were some nice play designs. He's working the middle of the field. You had a downfield shot. You saw them try to work in the screen game. They had some creative RPOs. Like a little bit of everything. I thought from a game plan standpoint, that stuff like from a design that looked good in the first half. Now I'm looking at this and I was after I finished up the plays, I'm like, all right, first drive touchdown, second drive touchdown, but it was a 3 and out that got extended because of that the roughing the punter. Then you had touchdown, then you go 3 and out, then you have a give up drive at the end of the second quarter. Then you have a 3 and out. Then you have 2 straight incompletions to go out on 3rd down and you punt. 3 and out on the 8th drive. You miss the field goal after getting back to 1st and 25. Then you get the fumble. Then you get the Odigizua sack on 3rd down. Like this offense just went completely stale after those first 3 drives.
You want to hear a fun stat? The Eagles blew a 21-point lead. The collapse ties the biggest blown lead ever by a defending Super Bowl champ since the 2003 Buccaneers. That's fun.
Screw that team.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right, well, you want to take a look at the AJ Brown?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, you did the work.
As well.
Let's not make it
for it. All right, let's take a look. So this one, guys, will be AJ Post 1. Look, we know that Matt Eberflus, they love to play zone coverage. It's 3rd and 5 in the red zone, and you're going to get cover 3 here on this play. They start with a split safety look, so Jalen's got to make sure, okay, are we going to actually getting split safety, or is it going to be single high? They end up rotating into single high. So the guy that's circled, that safety there, he is going to be the deep safety. Both corners are going to drop into the deep third. That other safety to the boundary is going to roll down, and he is going to be the curl flat player. So you've got 4 underneath, you've got 3 deep. High school cover 3 here for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. So with this concept, there's essentially 2 defenders that you've got to beat. If we go to the next shot, basically you've got A.J. Brown working the bottom of the screen. He has got to make sure he beats that corner. That's A.J.'s job here on this play. Jalen's job is to make sure that post safety doesn't cheat over in that direction. So you've got A.J. lined up to the boundary. He's running an ISO, like a kind of a skinny post, a glance route from that side. That's going to be the concept here on this play to the boundary. So if we go to the next shot, you see that Jalen, he is eyeing up the right side the entire way. He's trying to keep that safety that started on the left hash, keep him over there. I kept the circle on the screen just to kind of say, like, yeah, like the safety is staying over there because Jalen takes the snap, drops back, and keeps his eyes trained on that side of the field. AJ is going to widen his initial stem. Again, knowing that this corner at the bottom of the screen, you can see he's already turned his back to the sideline. He's got to play this with outside leverage. He's got to be wider than the widest receiver, and that's AJ Brown. He's going to try and funnel AJ inside to his help. But as long as Jalen is keeping his eyes over to the right side, that help's not going to be there from the safety. And so now, once Jalen hits the top of his drop, we go to the next shot. Once he hits the top of his drop, he gets his eyes back. He's going to make sure, all right, do I have what I'm hoping for here? If it is, I've got to be really quick twitch here and get the ball out of my hands fast. And he puts this ball exactly where it needs to be. Now, it might look, he put this behind A.J. Brown. A lot of quarterbacks rather, they will purposely put this a little bit on the back shoulder just in case that safety does want to try and scream over to the other side and try and you don't want to lead them too much into the safety. So if you're going to be a little bit behind, if you're going to miss rather, you want to be a little bit outside as opposed to inside towards the safety. So he puts this where AJ can get it, and AJ comes down with it. So well scripted play, well executed play by Jalen and by AJ there on that one, and they come out with a touchdown there in the red zone.
All right, let's flip sides of the ball here, Fran, and I guess let's talk about the play that really got the Cowboys into easy field goal territory. And I do have to say, I didn't love the way that Sirianni handled those timeouts at the end there.
Yeah.
Because it looked like
I agree with that.
It looked like the Cowboys were going to settle for the long field goal, and then he called timeout. If they're going to let it run. And then he stopped using them. It was
a weird, yes.
Yeah, it was like it didn't really make sense what he did. Anyway, they call timeout, and so the Cowboys come out and they hit this big play to George Pickens where the Eagles have guys running all into each other.
Yeah, I saw there were people in the chat saying like, all right, well, who ran into Q? So I wanted to make sure we definitely covered this
Was it
play.
Sendejo?
So, this was not Sendejo, although we got a mini Sendejo in the
I
back
think
there.
we do.
So I agree with you that Sydney did not have a good day. I mean, look, I didn't pull the play, but even like that punt coverage rep, like where he's the jammer going up against Elijah Clark, like he's going for the kill shot there. He's trying to bury him and trying to get the highlight there. Dude, like lock him up and stay on him. Like you don't need to like go and like push him down there. Like you want to try like engage and without trying to draw a flag. Like I'd be interested to get Michael Clay's thoughts on that one. But I did not think Sydney looked all that great.
I mean, listen, he's a backup. I don't want to kill the guy. It's a tough spot to be in, but
yeah. Now, that said, let's take a look at the Pickens one. So this is obviously a critical play in the game. And what you're going to see here before the snap is that the Cowboys are going to bring Kevontae Turpin in motion from left to right. Michael Carter is going to stay with him in coverage. So Carter is going to travel with Kevontae Turpin in motion. He's going to go across the field. Now, what the Eagles are doing defensively, they are blitzing Nakobe Dean here on this play. If you go to the next shot, you see that Nakobe is already creeping up towards the line of scrimmage. So you've got a 5-man front. Nakobe's going to blitz. The Eagles are playing man-to-man coverage here on this play. This is actually a really good play call from Dallas because the Eagles are playing man-to-man. You get this natural rub here. But if Dak is forced to hold on to this ball for a second later, I think the linebackers are getting home for at least for a pressure and maybe for a sack. But you've got Nakobe up on the line of scrimmage. If we go to the next shot, You can see that he's going to drop back. You can see Carter is already about to run into Q. He's getting ready to run into Quinyon Mitchell. You're going to get Turpin running to the flat. He's running to the sideline. Pickens is running a slant route. Carter impacts Quinyon. So now this is a nice, easy throw here for Dak Prescott in rhythm. And again, you're hoping that this doesn't happen if Quinyon and Carter, if that communication is a little bit better. It's a rough circumstance there for Carter. He runs into Quinyon. You go to the next shot here, and the reason why it's tough is that Nakobe impacts the back. Now the back did a better job in pass protection here, but you could see that Bond, he is actually green dogging here. He sees that his man, the running back, is staying in protection. He's inserting into the rush here. So if Dak has to hold this ball, if he's got a pump fake, if Quinyon is in Pickens' hip pocket here on this play, who knows how this would have worked out for the Eagles. But I kind of like Zach Bond's chances. I like Nakobe Dean's chances here to be able to get home on this pressure. But because the ball is able to come out fast, we go to the last shot. Pickens is wide open here, and then you get the catch and run. And then Makuba, unfortunately, gets injured. Jamie, I agree with you. It did not look good.
Somebody in the chat just said Jimmy Kempsky's reporting he's on crutches and in a boot.
Not good.
Not great. What are the options here that is not Sidney Brown?
Well, let's talk about it. You could move Michael Carter to safety. That's a possibility. You could.
Vic Fangio did say that he is not a safety, or he didn't see him as a safety.
You could move Cooper DeJean to safety.
You could move Cooper DeJean to safety.
Now we also don't know what happened to Reed Blankenship. So Reed Blankenship didn't come back in this game.
I think I medically diagnosed Makuba all right. It looked to me like Reed took Nakobe's kneecap. Like a deep muscle bruise type of thing. Like he kind of came.
I feel like he would have come back if it was.
I think so too, right? But like hopefully it's not a pull because that's a couple weeks.
Now you do have Marcus. Oh no, Marcus Epps is on IR. He hasn't been cleared to return to practice just yet. So you've got you got Andre Sam on practice squad.
All right.
Yeah.
Desperate times.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Now here's a question for you, Fran, because
maybe with the week of practice, Sidney Brown will be better.
Yeah, and that's what you have to hope. I mean, you absolutely have to hope that. That's a critical play.
Short week though,
and Vic chooses to send Nakobe, and it makes sense because Nakobe was responsible for the only sack the Eagles had in this game, and I did feel like the pass rush, which has been ferocious the past 2 weeks, was a little bit quiet today. What did you think about that?
Yep. No question. There were numerous dropbacks in the second half where I was like, I kind of said aloud, like, the pass rush has been quiet. Like, all right, this is where you got to come alive. Like, one of these guys has got to be able to win. Tyler Guyton steps out for a few snaps there in the second half. They're still like just unable to get that pressure. I would say that was outside of the offense just going completely stale for the last 3 quarters, that was the most disappointing aspect of this game, was the fact that the pass rush was mostly non-existent for most of the night.
Dak was 2.63 time to throw, which is the 4th quickest the Eagles have faced this season, but not especially they had time to get home, and he really did not seem harassed.
No, and that's to me, that's what you were hoping for coming into this game. We talked about it in the pregame show, is that that was the difference from week 1 to now. You have Jalen Carter, you have Jalen Phillips, you've got Moro Ojimo, playing at a higher level than what he was to start the season. So you were definitely hoping for more from this defensive line going into this matchup than what you got.
All right, so what's your zoom out a little bit? Macro take? Do you feel like this could be in service of something better, or do you think that this is the crack that leads to the whole thing collapsing?
I want to lean towards it not being that that level of disaster, but look, that's a long flight home, man. Like after a game like that, Vinny knows, like that's a long flight.
Dallas is always sneaking a little bit longer than you think it should be, that flight.
Yeah, right, exactly. But that's
they're not flying commercial. It'll be fine.
But it's always like this is like a 3-hour flight.
We're not getting home till late.
Like 4.5.
Yeah, especially with a short week.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a short week. No, it's look. This is going to be a tough one to swallow. I do agree that there's a chance that maybe there are like thing, like personnel standpoint, but maybe philosophically, and maybe that's something that benefits this team in the long. But look, man, like they seem to want to play this style of game in terms of like, oh, we're gonna gut it out, and we're gonna figure out a way to win. That's underperforming for what this team is. Like what they're paid to do, the way that this team is built. Like this team is built to blow defenses like this out of the water, and the fact that they didn't is, I don't want to say alarming. It's alarming. They should have done more against this defense and against this team.
Fran, Xavier Gibson, what's going on there?
Goodbye tomorrow. Like
really,
can't be on the team tomorrow.
I'm with him.
Fran, cut somebody.
Really?
Whoa.
Nope. Can't. That's what happened to him in New York to start the year. Literally, like Aaron Glenn cut him the next day. He can't be on the team tomorrow. Like that is like such an egregious error. And honestly, for a loss like that could be a way for like for the coach in the front office to kind of say like, kind of shoot a message across the bow, like 14 penalties yesterday. You had all these mistakes on all three sides. That's an error you cannot make. You cannot field that punt.
I'm trying to think. I honestly, I cannot remember Howie ever doing that. The Eagles ever actually like cutting a guy for a mistake the day after a game.
Great time to start.
Yeah, I mean, you might need a roster spot.
Now, I mean, I can remember like cutting Jason Babin to send a message, but like in terms of like a guy making a mistake like that.
I feel like we did.
I believe you.
It's gonna come to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to think that through. I feel like there might be somebody.
But I mean, that's
pretty
inexcusable.
Anyway.
Egregious error.
I didn't think I was going to get that kind of heat out of you. That's fantastic.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll sleep on it and I'll feel different about it tomorrow. But like to me, like
got a family.
It's not like what are they going to miss his 3-yard speed sweep that they got to him in the first quarter? Like, I don't know that they necessarily.
Devontae ran it better. Yeah.
This one to me, that would be an easy chance to take, an easy shot to take.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, like, what purpose does he serve here? Goodbye.
Right.
Yikes.
Britton Covey, come on down. He's in the locker room, right?
Put Jahan Dotson back there. Like, literally, like, anybody.
Yeah, anybody.
All right. Any final thoughts on just anything else you saw that we haven't talked about from this game that was interesting to you?
I have looking at my notes. I have Sydney with a down arrow. We already talked through that. Yeah, I mean the Nakobe Dean sack was awesome.
What an awesome play!
Awesome play, and then it wasn't even just like him beating them back one-on-one, which was outstanding, and we've come to expect that. But also like Dallas is running double slant on the opposite side, and that's exactly where Dak is looking, and they were dropping the defensive end right into the window there. Like it was perfect. It was just picture perfect. So I was going to break that one down here on the show, but obviously we scrapped that. I think we covered everything. I'm excited to go through the film, and see, honestly, like this is one where I am genuinely interested to see the offense and see what the hell happened from a pass game standpoint. Because while Jalen looked good in the first couple drives, there were a number of third down plays and like critical down plays where, he scrambles for 5 yards, or it was a throwaway, or you had obviously we talked about the sack, like a number of those plays where I'm like, all right, like I wish we could have seen some kind of a replay here to see what he saw down the field.
Brand, last one before you go, the Devontae Smith blocking penalty.
Terrible call, awful call.
Okay.
Awful on the RPO.
Fire that ref tomorrow.
The refs were brutal all night. I felt.
All right, while we're on the subject, Cooper DeJean and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. No, there was I thought the refs were brutal on both sides tonight.
Well, that was called by Vinny, who when he came in for the game was like, I think this guy was calling games before I even started playing.
Yo, you don't feel like that? I feel like that.
Vinovich.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I feel like he was calling.
I'm pretty sure
too much
right.
wine before the game.
When PlayStation was a thing, the first PlayStation.
Crash Bandicoot, Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinovich.
It's a good game.
All right, Fran. Thank you so much. We will talk to you tomorrow, 2:00. If you're just tuning in and you're like, oh my God, this Fran Duffy guy is so insightful. I want more of it. Well,
terrible.
Tune in tomorrow, 2:00 on the PHLY Eagles show as he helps break down this game after watching the film. Thank you so much, Fran.